Howdy y'all, Joe Hills here, recording as I was due in Nashville, Tennessee, and as you know, I've been doing some mining the last few episodes. That gave me a reason to think, you know what, I should come in here and I should use some of those stone bricks, because we've got this whole, castle thing going on here, and, you know, some of this still needs a lot of work. Like, for example, these doors here are supposed to be about, 20 feet tall and open, and they're not. So, what I kind of think I need to do is just kind of come over here like so and hint at the doors being open. So these should be about, oh yeah, let's see, do we have an axe with us? We're gonna want that if we're doing a ton of work with wood. So the idea is that the doors would fit into here, but they are currently not closed. So see, this seems about right. And then we would just kind of have that like this. Now, you might be looking at this and going, Joe, that doesn't really look like a door. And the answer is not yet. No, it doesn't. So, we're going to do the same thing over here until it does look more door-like. More door-like is exactly how Sauron described to his exterior decorator how he wanted the terrain around his castle to be. So, we're going off what some of the smartest people in the industry have done. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'm looking at these doors. Realistically, I think it would be prettier if the door went up like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and chop that one. I'm going to switch over here from fireworks to ender pearls. Ender pearl over this way. Boom. Because, if you think of this as a door that's opened outward, it makes sense to have a certain kind of an arch here, right? And then we would just come in through like this, and whoops, of course we're misplacing blocks. But you know what? Misplacing is a lot like misbehaving, you know? It's almost behaving, but you missed it by this much. Now, thing is, that can be a lot. Like, if you ever had a kid, and you know the difference between them doing what you tell them and what you don't tell them, or what you explicitly forbid, can be pretty severe sometimes. So, does that look like big open doors thrown open? You know, I'm gonna say honestly, no, it doesn't. This is better than it was, yes, but it could still yet be improved. I think in order for the doors to feel more thrown open, we should actually go ahead and set this up like so. We're gonna have this be diagonal here. Now, technically, the length on the doors wouldn't exactly work because we're doing radical 2 or whatever, but you know what? It's okay. Sometimes things happen in Minecraft with spacing. So, does that look more like a door? Having one of them be kind of further out than the other is actually kind of a visually interesting thing here. But on the whole, I think that what I'm actually going to want to do is going to be to pop straight up here, like so. Pop straight back down. You know, I know my limitations. I will not elevate myself higher than I deserve to stay for too long. Just for a little while. Just a teensy bit. So, yeah, that kind of works as the entranceway there. Now, also, obviously, this could afford to look a lot cooler. Not all these things need to be right angles. So, what I'm kind of thinking of doing would be to take some sort of, complementary stone and use it for trim or something like that. Now, on the whole, with most of this castle, we've used all of this, the same brick for everything. And, wow, maybe that was a mistake. Maybe I should have had fancy cornerstones alongside some of this or something. I don't want to double doubt everything I do because I don't have time for that. But yeah, realistically, we can sculpt something out of just the stone brick, but using other blocks mixed in, like the granite or the andesite, might have some value. So let's just back up for a minute and look at what we've done here. So on these outer pieces, we've combined the concrete powder with the stone brick for a pretty strong contrast. Maybe there's a value to incorporating some of that same concrete powder texture into the transition regions of the structure itself. Like where this shelf meets this wall, maybe we put in some concrete powder along there. Same thing maybe for up here. Like, this space is actually one of the most interesting volumetric areas, or areometric volumes of this castle. Like, I don't know how these are supposed to meet, but there's something cool you could do with it for sure. So if you guys have specific comments or suggestions, definitely let me know what you think I should do in the comments section below. Let's see. Needs wooden doors and stonework above. Just eyeballing this part too. Now that we've got the kind of foyer wooden doors here, I'm almost thinking that this archway maybe should feel somehow separate from the rest of the castle walls. Like, yeah, let's go ahead and get some andesite and really punch up this archway here. Because we use the andesite for these pillars in this room. And we use the bone ceiling to, you know, I kind of like the idea of having the same bone ceiling we use there as an element here. Although this is going to be a lot taller because of these tall doors. Yeah, this is an interesting space. Also, if I did arch the ceiling, maybe the arch should be a little bit higher than this. Let's just look through here again, because this area in here is supposed to have a 10-foot ceiling or so. Let me grab my book. I've got the book with all of the ceiling descriptions. So, 1 second. Time skip. So, according to the book, area K7, the entry on the main floor, has wide double doors for massive ornate entrance. Boom, check. 4 dragons ensconced. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can tell they're dragons because they have cute wooden noses and their skin changes color. Check. Vaulted ceiling. Check. Second set of double doors that leads you into the Great Hall. Boom. Great entry hall right here. Now, this room's going to need even more stuff. We're going to need a domed ceiling. We're going to need 8 gargoyles for it. But you know what? I think we've made some good choices with this space. Incorporating andesite into kind of the sconces here and into the overall archway, I feel like creates a visual distinction that a lot of the exterior of the castle lacks. Now, I've also come in and started messing a little bit with a shelf here with some, you know, concrete powder, sand, that sort of thing. You know, I could ender pearl up there and maybe fix that one last missing piece, but I don't know. I'm thinking I'm going to make some changes still to this, so feel free to leave comments in the comments section about how you feel about this area, because, yeah, we got to do something to improve that. So, anyway, I was looking at, like, okay, so this door, maybe this door also needs, like, some andesite around it. You know, we just, like, not necessarily a full rectangle, but just, like, a nice little andesite arch. And I'm not sure how I feel about using the same material I'm using for the floor up here, but you know what? It kind of works. It kind of pulls you visually through where we're going, okay? And where we're going is ahead. Boom. Now that we're ahead, you know, you don't stop when you're ahead. It's like, you know, poker or blackjack. You keep playing until you're ruined. Anyway, at least when you're building a castle that's arguably in ruins. It's actually, well, parts of it are in ruin. Anyway, so I figured maybe I use these same andesite pieces to, like, make these arches more distinct visually. But when I came in here to look at that, I realized this altar does not really sell itself very strongly. Like, just look at it. Look at that altar and look at the windowsills. So you come through here, and you're like, oh, cool, andesite windowsills, whatever. But then this altar is just like, oh, is that part of the windowsill? No, it's actually, oh, it's forward. So here's what I'm thinking on that. Granite. Or red nether brick. Granite. Okay. So, let's see. Do we have any granite to actually apply there? Good question. I should have asked that before I started recording again. But, let's find out. Boom. $14 granite. That should be enough. I mean, more than enough, really, for what we're doing. I probably should have saved some of that for other stuff. Anyway. So we look at this altar and we say, granite, I won't take you. I'll leave you. So we're going to leave you for granite and set that right here. Boom, 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 boom. That's a pretty good altar. I mean, really, it might be more impressive if it was like this. Yeah, that's a pretty solid altar. You're not supposed to stand on altars, dang it. Auto jump got enabled again. How does it keep doing that? Controls, auto jump off. Anyway, cool. So, there we go. Now we have a much better altar in here. And we have a good idea of how we could improve each of these arches. Now, there's a little bit of a rabbit hole with these arches, because if I start, like, putting them around this part, do I need to also put them around these sconcy pieces? Like, should every sconce have that sort of stone difference? Oh, should I have some sort of architectural element branching up and over each of these guys? Like, how far does this archway thing go? I mean, the sky's the limit. Well, in this case, that roof's the limit. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, if I was going to start mixing andesite and things, yeah, like, these sconces should probably be a little bit more andesital, I guess. And then this room, we don't really have a lot of variety of materials in a lot of these rooms, honestly. So I'm going to have to look at that in the long term. Also, this is supposed to be the Hall of Cobwebs down the line. No, that's further up, I think. Oh, well. Oh, I love this chapel so much. And one of the things that makes the chapel so good is the variety of materials used in it. So, let's think about that a little bit. Let's embrace it, and let's carry it forward. New materials for a new year on I was going to say a new server, but I guess the server's almost 8 months old at this point. On a good server. Yay. Okay, so let's go ahead and pull on all the way this way and say goodbye to the castle for the time being. Once again, all of your feedback and recommendations are welcome. You may have noticed that this episode was mid-roll ad-free, and that's thanks to Patreon sponsor EagleFam. So, I'm going to read a poem instead of having that mid-roll ad. The horoscopists tweet without doubt how their charts depict Mercury in retrograde. The implications are apparent. I envy them, as I glance dubiously at my column of Mercury, then at the clouds, then at the sunlight, not the sun. I know not to look at the sun, and I know that the planets can't guide my decisions, yet I envy those folks misguided by the stars as I squint at the sky, and I alone cannot select a jacket. Until next time, y'all, this is Joe Hills from Nashville, Tennessee. Keep adventuring.